hope this is working. Is this working? I've got a round circle thing going around and around and around, but I'm really hoping. Oh, hello. We're working. We're working. We're live. I hope we're live. I don't know if anyone's listening to me. I've got no idea what's going on, quite frankly. But just in case you're here, hello everyone. It's nice to join you this afternoon. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. I'm on time. That's a good start, I reckon. And I am here. Somebody said hello. Georgia. Hi, Georgia. Nice to see you. It's nice to feel that I'm not totally on my own. So I'm here with the guys at Home with 4 Indies, and they are made up of 4 of my very favourite independent bookshops in the country. That's Booker Bookshops, Bookish, Forum Books, and Lingham's Booksellers, and they are doing these fabulous live events with lots of authors. They've been doing them for a few months now, I think. And so I'm very honoured to partake. Now then, hello everyone. Oh, hi Rob from Zachary. Hi Zachary, nice to see you. Hope you've had a nice time doing all my Draw with Rob videos over the last few months. It's lovely to see you. Who else can I say hello to? Hi Elliot, age 7, who loves my videos. Hi Elliot, it's nice to see you. Hi Charlie, Lola and Alanis here. I recognise those names. I think you've been sending pictures in to me, haven't you? Right. Okay, this is how it's going to work. I thought I would start by telling you guys a little bit about how I became an author and an illustrator. I hope that's interesting to you. And then a little bit, once I've done that, I'll rabbit on for a little while about how I became an author. And then I will take some questions, shall I? That would be nice. So why don't you have a little think about some questions you want to ask me, and we'll get to that in a little while. Okay, here's one I prepared earlier. Can you see my little screen? On my screen, hang on, let's get this in the middle. There. Can you see this picture of this little boy? Believe it or not, this little boy here is me. I reckon I'm about 5 or 6 years old in this picture. And when I was 5 or 6, there were 2 things that I wanted to be when I grew up. One of them was a footballer. Do you know what? My uncle was a professional footballer, so I wanted to be a bit like my uncle. Played for my favourite team, which is Arsenal. I probably shouldn't say that, but they're the best team in the world, so why not? Why not? Well, they're not the best team in the world at the moment, are they? But hey, we might beat Spurs on Sunday. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have put that on record. That might come back to bite me. Okay, now then, there were 2 things that I wanted to be. One was a footballer. The other thing was something called an illustrator, someone who draws pictures for a living. The reason I wanted to be an illustrator, there we go, is that in the middle, is because of this picture here that I did when I was in reception at school. So I was like, what, 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that. And the reason I did this picture is because at my school there was a drawing competition. You just had to draw a picture of something to do with the school summer fair. So I did this picture here of some kids dancing around a maypole, and you entered, what you had to do, everyone in the whole school just entered this drawing into this competition. I remember one day my head teacher came into the classroom and he said, right, which one of you is Robert? And I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble. And so I put my hand up and I went to the front of the class and he said, congratulations, you've won first prize for the drawing competition out of everyone in the whole school. I couldn't believe it. I thought to myself pretty quickly, right, what's my prize going to be? That was my main concern, I think. It's probably going to be like a new bike, isn't it? Something like that. Or, you know, maybe, I don't know, a Nintendo Switch, something like that. Oh no, it was neither of those things. Do you know what my prize was? It was a pencil. But do you know what? That pencil meant everything to me. I really treasured that pencil because it stood for the fact that somebody thought I was good at drawing. So I really treasured that pencil. And what happened was, as I got a little bit older and even more stylish, look how I'm going the wrong way. Look how stylish I am. Wasn't I a stylish child? Short shorts, short tie. As I got older, I carried on drawing. One of my favourite things to do, I'm not very good at this. I can't get my head around how this works. Whew. One of my favourite things to do was to make my own books and my own comics. You see, I used to draw all the pictures and I'd staple them down one side and I'd hand them out to my friends. I'd spend a lot of time copying my favourite cartoon characters. A little tip for you, if you want to get better at drawing, it's a really good way to get better at drawing because you get to see how other people draw their characters. So I'd spend a lot of time doing drawings. I think I did this one, Garfield was one of my favourites. I think I did this when I was about 8, something like that. And this one I did when I was around about 9 or 10. Judge Dredd, sort of, he's not a superhero, he's like a futuristic policeman, but I really used to like the comics that he was in. And so I was drawing like this by the time I was about 10, and my teachers at school, they started to say to me, maybe you should think about being an illustrator when you grow up because we think you're actually quite good. So I thought, well, that sounds like a really good job. So as I got older, I got bigger and bigger and bigger. I carried on drawing, carried on practicing, because you know what? Drawing is like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And so I was drawing so much at this time, I was able to do these kind of drawings like this, and I was getting really good at, going slow when you get to the edges, when you're colouring in, that sort of thing. So yeah, my teacher said, maybe you should think about going to a place called Art College. And that's somewhere you go after you've done your A-levels at school. You can go to university, and some universities, they offer art courses. And I sort of said, well, what does that basically mean, that I just get to draw and paint all day long? And they said, yeah. And so I thought, well, that sounds really good. The only bad thing is, so I went there when I was about 18. And the only bad thing is someone told me that you had to grow your hair long. Look, there's a picture of me with long hair. I know, I keep showing you pictures of me looking a bit stupid. But I did, I grew my hair long. I think my jacket there is made out of some carpet. And off I went to art college, where I spent 3 years painting fruit. That's what I did. Painted lots and lots of fruit at art college because I wanted to be a fine artist. I wanted to be a painter. But you know what? When it came to the time that I had to leave art college, I could not find a job as an apple painter anywhere. So I ended up going to work for lots of very famous newspapers and magazines. Here we go. Oh God, what is wrong with me? I can't get my head around how this works. There we go. I went to work for lots of very famous newspapers and magazines. Some of you, if you're of a similar vintage to me, might remember a magazine called Just 17, which was a teenage girls magazine. I worked on that. I worked on a music magazine called The Enemy. I was the art director there, and then I ended up at the Observer magazine, which is the Observer was a newspaper that I really liked to read, so I really liked working there, and it was a really lovely job. But you know what? I always remembered those days when I used to make up my own comics and comic characters and stories and things like that, and I used to think to myself, oh, that would have been a nice job to do, actually. Then something happened to me that changed everything. I had children. Look, there's my 3 daughters. Can you see them? That one at the top is Ella, the other one at the top is Kitty, and the one down the bottom looking miserable is Poppy. Now, do you know what? This is what happens in my house if you don't eat your vegetables. You get put in the stocks, and we throw those vegetables at you. It's not really. This is a picture of us at Disney World a few years ago. Do you want to see another picture of the girls? Oh, there they are. There's another picture of the girls. Can you see the cat that snuck into the picture there? That is my cat. Now my cat has got a very embarrassing name. In fact, do you want me to tell you what my cat's name is? It's really embarrassing. Maybe I shouldn't tell you. It's going to make me a laughing stock. Okay, I will. Okay. Shall I tell you? Yes, somebody there is saying yes, tell. Okay, my cat is called Catface. Stupid name, isn't it? I know, really stupid. But it's not the stupidest pet name in my family, because do you know what? My brother, that's not my brother, I should probably point that out before I go any further. My brother has a dog, a little dog. This is my brother's dog. And when they got this dog, they decided it would be a good idea to let their little girl, Martha, who was I think 2 or 3 years old at the time, they thought it'd be a good idea to let her choose the name for this dog. And they said to her, do you know what? Whatever you choose, that is what we are going to call this dog. So this poor little dog here, oh my gosh. I think I might have told you this on some of my videos actually, but this little dog here is called Toothpaste. Toothpaste. The dog. How embarrassing is that? Makes Catface look pretty normal, doesn't it? Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I had children, didn't I? I said that changed everything. So we started to buy lots of books for the kids. I can never get it right. I don't know what's wrong with me. So these were some of the favourite books that we bought and read to the kids at bedtime. And my 2 favourites were these 2. The Incredible Book-Eating Boy by Oliver Jeffers and How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. And when I used to read them, I used to think, oh, that looks like a really nice job. Oliver's books were like works of art. I absolutely love looking at them. They were absolutely beautiful, beautiful paintings. Oh, somebody's saying, is it muted? Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Yes? Somebody tell me in the comments whether they can hear me or not. No one's... Oh no, don't tell me that. Don't tell me I've been talking for all this time. Can you hear me? Please, somebody tell me. I'm just going to keep talking. Unless you can't hear me, I'm just going to keep on going. Right. Oh, yes, thank you. Forum Books. Yes, we can hear you. Thank God for that. Somebody said I was muted. Right. Okay. That was a nice little kind of interlude, wasn't it? Yes. So I bought these books, read these books, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a go at writing a book. I have no idea if I can do it. But I thought I'm going to do some practice first of all. I'm going to practice drawing some pictures of things that kids would like to look at. So here we go. I drew pirate ships. I drew dragons. What else did I do? Ooh. I did dinosaurs, of course. A nice picture of some dinosaurs. I did lots of monsters. I'm not very good at this, am I? Space. I thought, there's always lots of nice books about space and aliens, that sort of thing. Then I thought I'd better practice drawing some children. So here we go. A page full of girl characters, a page full of boy characters there. Then I thought, there's always lots of animals in picture books, isn't there? So here we go. I did lions and tigers and elephants and monkeys and cows and rabbits, all sorts of things. Here we go. Got a page full of meerkats and whales. And what I did, I printed all these pictures out and I put them in a big folder, and I put that folder under my arm, and off I went into London to show people called publishers. Now, publishers are the people that make books, basically. So I went with all my pictures and I went into their offices and I showed them all my pictures. And do you know what? There was one group of animals in particular that they liked more than any other. Anybody want to have a guess at which of the animals on this screen here were the ones that they liked best of all? Oh, somebody said whale. It wasn't the whale. It wasn't the meerkats. I'm going to tell you. It was the penguins. They said to me, we really like your penguins. Do you think you can come up with a story for them? So I thought, right, a penguin is a kind of animal, a kind of bird, isn't it? But it's a kind of bird that doesn't fly. So I'm going to write a story about a penguin who does fly. How can I get a penguin up into the sky? I know. What if he goes out flying a kite on a windy day and ends up getting blown away? So I wrote that story there, Blown Away. Have you seen that book? That was my very first book. And I showed it to the publishers, HarperCollins, and they said, we love it, we're going to turn it into a book. So they did. And guess what? It won a big prize, actually. It won the Waterstones Children's Book Prize, which was amazing. What an amazing, lucky start to my career. And the best thing about it was I got to write more books. So I wrote this one here called Grr, all about a bear called Fred, who some of you might have drawn in my draw-alongs with me. About a bear called Fred who loses his growl. I wrote this one, Odd Dog Out. You know Odd Dog Out. You've all seen Odd Dog Out, haven't you? You might have even seen it on the TV, but more of that a bit later. Sunk, I wrote a book called Sunk, which is all about pirate penguins. In fact, we drew one of the characters from Sunk yesterday on Draw with Rob. Kevin, one of my daughters had an imaginary friend called Kevin, so I wrote a story about that. And then here's the Dinosaur Juniors book, featuring Gregosaurus. The very first Draw with Rob episode featured Gregosaurus, so that's where he came from. Then I've written a book called Show and Tell, which was, is that my newest book? I can't remember which books have come out. Yeah, that's my newest one. That came out last year. It's all about a class full of children who bring in ever more crazy things for show and tell at school. So that's a really fun book there. Oh, and this is my new one. This is the one that's coming out. Whoop, there we go. This is the one that's coming out later on this year, September, the beginning of September. HarperCollins are publishing this one. It's called Doggone. And that chap there is called Teddy, which is short for Edward Pugglesworth. So that's a really fun one. So you need to keep an eye out for that. What else can I tell you? Oh, yes. Sometimes I get to illustrate books for other authors too. So here's a selection of the books that I've ordered. So I draw the covers for people like Piers Torday, Christian O'Connell, Flat Stanley. Some of you might have heard of. I've done lots of covers for Flat Stanley books. There's an author called Jess Butterworth. I draw all of her covers for her. And I've just started a really exciting project for Michael Bond, who wrote the Paddington books. And I am illustrating Parsley the Lion, which is one of his characters from way back in the 60s, even before I was born. And I've done a new edition of that. There's another author you might know, very famous, called Philip Arder. He's about 19 feet tall with a really big beard. So if you've seen like a 19-foot tall man with a really big beard who is an author, that's probably Philip Arder. And we are doing a series together. He's writing the words, I'm drawing the pictures, and that's called Furry Purry Bean Cat. The first one of those is out in, Big Phil. When's it out? I think it's out in September. Is it? September. I think September. So they're a lot of fun. So yeah, it's really nice to get to draw pictures for other people. My books get sent all over the world. Here's some of the foreign editions of my books. I get to tour all over the place. I might have even come to some of your schools before, who knows. I've done a lot of school visits where we do my draw-alongs live at schools. I've been doing that for years and years. Here I am at the Eden Project. I go on tours of other countries sometimes. I went to Russia. Here's the odd dog out there in China. We went to China a couple of years ago. That was really good fun. Look, here's a picture of me in China. Can you spot me? Can anyone spot the odd Rob out in this picture here? There I am in China. What else? Yeah, you might have seen me pop up on your telly. Blue Peter badge. Very proud I was on Blue Peter. There I am, Blue Peter, a year or two ago. I'm very proud of that badge, aren't I? Some of you might have seen my books on CBeebies as the bedtime stories. That's a lot of fun. Blown Away was read by Mark Bonner. Chris Kamara read Gur. You've probably seen this. This is the one you've probably seen, isn't it? Whoop, Tom, my friend Tom Hardy. He's not really my friend, unfortunately. My wife says unfortunately. But he read Odd Dog Out. That was really fun. World Book Day. You might know me because I am the World Book Day illustrator, the official World Book Day illustrator. So on World Book Day, it's really fun because lots of people go dressed as my characters. So maybe next World Book Day, when we're all back at school and things are slightly more normal, maybe you can go dressed as my characters. Look at that costume, Odd Dog Out. That is a good one, isn't it? Turns out that was Mum was a Hollywood costume designer. So it's not surprising, it's pretty good. But yes, I'm the official illustrator of World Book Day, so you might have seen all these little bookmark characters before coming around to your school. They're fun, I did all of them. So yeah, you can see that being an author, it's not just about writing books and illustrating stories, it's about all sorts of different things. Then I probably should talk about this, shouldn't I? Draw with Rob. Now, this started, Draw with Rob, I was sitting at home just before lockdown. I remember sitting on my sofa, it was a Sunday night, and I think the news came on and they were saying on the news that the school, we're about to close the schools and go into lockdown. So I thought to myself, there's going to be lots of parents at home with their children looking for things to do. They're going to be stuck in the house. Now, I've got 3 daughters, as I've already told you, and I know how hard it is when you are at home with nothing to do in the summer holiday. So I thought, right, do you know what? I think I can do something here. I've been doing all my live draw-along events for a long time, and a few years ago actually I put, I think back in 2016, I put a couple of Draw with Rob videos up online. I just was playing around. I think I was trying to learn how to use iMovie or something, so I did a few, put them up online and sort of forgot about them. And then I was sitting at home on that Sunday and I thought, do you know what, I can do this. If I make some draw-along videos, then maybe people will watch. Parents might show them to their children. So I sat there on the sofa and I made a little teaser using one of my old videos, and I put it up online, and people went crazy for it there and then. That Sunday night, they said, yeah, it's a brilliant idea. So on the Monday, I went into my studio, into here, sat just there, in fact, and I made the first video, the Gregosaurus video, and I think I put it up online the next day, on the Tuesday, and honestly, it just went crazy. I mean, it was all totally new to me, but thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people started watching it. So much so that I started to get calls from like the TV stations, and I found myself on BBC Breakfast, like I think on the Wednesday, and then I was on the news at 10 on the Thursday night. It was what a strange week that was. Yeah, very weird. So I said at the beginning, I said I'm going to do 2 a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's what I've done since then. So I think what we're up to now, yesterday's video I think was number 34, but I've done 2 others, so I think I've done about 36, nearly 40, something like that. And yeah, even though we're sort of coming out of lockdown now, I've decided that I'm going to keep on doing them twice a week, certainly twice a week through the summer holidays. And then maybe at the end of the summer holidays in September, when everyone is fully back at school, hopefully people are back at school, I might go down to 1 a week, but I'm not going to stop doing these Draw with Rob videos, because do you know what? I absolutely love them. Have you seen these then? Gregosaurus, the very first one there. Do you remember this one, the Rainbow Peacock? That was a fun one to do. I really liked that one. So yeah, there we go. Oh, I was going to show you. Oh yeah, did anyone join in with me with the world record attempt? That was great, wasn't it? I probably should have got some of my pics. Hang on, wait there a sec, wait there. I'm going to show you some of these. Here we go. Oh, I've got to be careful not to show you ones that we haven't done yet. Look what I've got here. It's all of my Draw with Rob drawings, the original drawings. Look at that. There's our flamingo friend. There's one that I did for the nibbies. Who remembers the turtle? Gorilla. All of these are pretty cool, aren't they? It's quite nice to have all of these. But did anyone join in with me with a whale for world record? That was fun, wasn't it? Back in May, we tried to do the largest ever online class, and I'm very pleased to say we did it. Look, the world record certificate. We had 45,611 people join in with my live online art lesson, and we broke the world record. I think it's actually quite a lot more than 45,000 people, because that was actually 45,000 laptops that tuned in, and I know that there was at least 2 people on each laptop. So I reckon we had at least twice that, probably even 3 times that, probably millions times more than that. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. Right, what else can I tell you before I start to look at your questions? Yes, I just want to tell you, I've told you all this stuff, haven't I? But you can see, hopefully, that there is a straight line from when I did that drawing when I was in reception to me becoming an author and an illustrator. So I think whatever it is that you want to be when you grow up, you can do it, because I'm living proof of that. I wanted to be an illustrator, and I am an illustrator. And the only reason I'm an illustrator is because I worked hard and I didn't give up. So, you know, whatever it is that you want to be, you can do it, can't you? You just need to practice. Do you remember I said you've got to practice, haven't you? I had to practice drawing. So if you want to be a footballer, you just need to do lots of practice. Or if you want to be a pianist, do lots of practice. If you want to be a doctor, you need to practice reading your medical books. Oh, what am I talking about? It just goes to show how not cut out to be a doctor I am. But there you go. Anyway, should we take some questions now? Shall I have a look at some of these questions? Let's have a look here. I've got there's a big stream, there's a river of questions appearing down the side of the page. I've got a couple here that a couple of people sent me earlier in the day, actually. So maybe I should have a look at those first of all, shall I? Right, the first one here is from a really brilliantly named child called Summer Peeling, who is in year 6 at Park Lane School, and she has asked me, how long would it usually take to film a Draw with Rob video? That is a very good question. Well, do you know what? You can probably tell when you watch them that they're recorded sort of as live. I don't put them up live, but I do them all in one take. I just sit there, start recording, start chatting away, and just start drawing. And you know, I always say to you in the videos, don't I? If you make a mistake, just keep on going. And so that's what I do. So I don't think I do. The only time I ever have to stop and start again is if Ringo bursts in and starts barking too much. And even then, quite often, as you will have seen in the videos, I just keep on going, don't I? So yeah, they take as long as they take to film. So usually, what are they, about 20 minutes long? They take about 20 minutes. Then I have to edit them a bit. So, you know, when I go into super speed mode, this is a little peek behind the curtain, but I actually can't draw that fast. So I go into my editing program afterwards, and I speed them up a bit, and I add the music and that sort of stuff, which might take another half an hour or so, but they're quite quick, really. And I tend to record them in batches of 4 or 5, sort of on a Saturday. I sort of go in, do them. So yeah, I love it. It's really good fun. It's good practice. Tell you what, it's really good practice for me, because I get to design other characters. And you know, I probably wouldn't have tried to draw a giraffe or a turtle otherwise, but now I've got a turtle and a giraffe character that maybe I can turn into books at some point. So there we go. There we go. Great question, Summer. Right, I've got a couple more that I'm going to answer from here. Who's this? Marty Swart, who asked me this on Facebook earlier. What is your favourite animal to draw? Oh, that's a tricky one. I do like drawing gorillas and monkeys, actually. They are fun. They are really fun. I like drawing their faces. I like drawing their sort of swirly nose things. They're really good. Okay, another one here. Tasha Davis on Facebook. How did you discover you had a talent for drawing? Well, I just think I used to really like doing it when I was young. My mum paints. My mum's a bit of an artist. And I think she says when I was young, when I was 4 or 5, that's what I used to do. I used to sit there and draw away. I'd spend all day drawing. Back in those days, there wasn't computers as much, and there wasn't social media and other things to just distract me. So, you know, I was either out playing football or I was inside drawing pictures. And as I said, you know, I think I was quite good at it. I think some people are naturally they're able to translate what's in their head onto the page, and I seem to be able to tell my hand what to do and make what's in my head appear on the page. So I think there is a certain amount of natural talent involved, but a lot of it is just practice. Keep on drawing. As I said, drawing's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the better and stronger that muscle gets. So yeah, my mum says they knew quite early on that I was quite good. So there we go. Okay, couple more, and then I promise I'm coming to your ones. Becky Mills, is there going to be a plush Gregosaurus? Oh, you've seen that little Gregosaurus. Can you see that Gregosaurus over there? They were made by HarperCollins, my publisher, for when Dinosaur Juniors came out. So they're not for sale, unfortunately. But who knows? Who knows? I think so far, like, I don't know, about 500,000 people have watched that, or even more than that maybe, have watched that Gregosaurus video. So maybe, who knows, if there's a toy company out there that wants to make Gregosauruses, get in touch, get your people to talk to my people. Who knows what will happen. Okay, I'm going to go for one more question here from Glenn Marvel James on Facebook, and I think it's his daughter Pippa would like to ask if there's an animal I don't like drawing. Oh, that is a good question. I always used to say horses to this, but actually I quite like drawing horses now. They are tricky. I know Chris Riddell, I think he used to say, it's not an animal, but he used to say bicycles were tricky. So now he always draws a fish on a bicycle. That's kind of his calling card. So I think, he thought, somebody riding a bike is a tough thing to draw. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to draw it so many times that it becomes easy for me. So I think that's what I've done a bit with a horse. To be honest, I'd have a go at drawing anything, to be honest. There's not really one that I wouldn't like to have a go at. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see. Let's have a look here. Where did you get your Blue Peter badge from? Who said that? I just saw that. Nazil Hussein. Where did you get your Blue Peter badge from? And who presented it to you? I got it last year because I am the World Book Day illustrator. And on World Book Day, I went on Blue Peter. I was on it with a couple of other authors, Abby Elphinston, and Cressida was on it too, Cressida Cowell. And who presented it to us? I wasn't presented on the TV show. It wasn't like a big grand presentation. I think one of the producers just said, "Here you go, here's your Blue Peter badge." And Abby and I were just like, it was an amazing moment. So I just wear it all the time now, show off. It's a good question though. Okay, do you have a favourite book? From Brandon, age 7. Do I have a favourite book? Well, my favourite children's book is The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. I love it. It's a perfect children's story in my opinion. Have you noticed that my stories, they're all written in rhyme? I really like to write in rhyme, partly because it's fun, but partly because I didn't ever think of myself as a writer. My job on magazines, I was a designer, I was an art director, and I was an illustrator, but I didn't ever think of myself as a writer. And I used to work on The Observer and The Guardian, and some of the best writers in the world work there. And so I just felt like a bit of a cheat calling myself a writer. So what I did, when I decided to try and write a children's book, I thought, if I wrote in rhyme, it's sort of something to hide behind, really, because it's like a puzzle to solve, isn't it? At least that's what I thought at the beginning. And then as I kept on going, I realised, actually, no, it's a really, it's an art form. It really is an art form. And there's nobody better at it than Dr. Seuss. I mean, I just think his rhymes are just perfect. It really taught me a lot reading those stories to my kids. The fact that you should never have to speed up to fit the rhyme into the kind of the space that's allowed for it. You need the perfect syllable count. I sit in my office, out in my studio here, and if you were to see me, you'd just see me wandering around all day talking to myself, because when I write, I read it aloud, because the books are picture books, but like the ones I write, they're designed to be performed. You might just be performing it at bedtime to your, in my case, my daughter, or sometimes I find myself standing on stage in front of thousands of people reading my books. That's just part of my job. But either way, they're designed to be performed. So it's all about the read aloud, especially with a rhyming book. And so there's no shortcuts. Sometimes I will write the story and I'll get the story perfect, but I just can't get one line to work. I can't get it to fit into the rhyming scheme. So I'll then go back and I'll rewrite loads of the story in order to make it work. And the writing, it takes me absolutely ages to write a book, sometimes a year, to write a book that takes 5 or 10 minutes to read. It's crazy, isn't it? But that's because I'm a perfectionist, and I can't even remember what the question was now. Oh yeah, it was my favourite book, wasn't it? I managed to go off on a total tangent, didn't I? But yeah, so Dr. Seuss, the absolute master of rhyming. I really like Richard Scarry as well. I'd have to say, from when I was a kid, I had lots of Richard Scarry books. If you don't know who he is, you can still buy all his books now. He's dead now, actually, unfortunately. But and the books were written in the 60s, but they are so good. They're full of detail. And for a picture book writer, you know that your books are going to be read night after night. Quite often, I get, when I'm at festivals and things, parents will come up to me and say, I've read Old Dog Out for the last 20 nights in a row. And my wife has just appeared in the window. Hello. Hi. Yes, she has just appeared with a piece of paper. Tell me something. I might tell you what that is in a minute. I thought she was going to say no one can hear you, but fortunately they can. So yeah, Richard Scarry, I love loads and loads of detail in his drawing. So you notice things on the second or third read, don't you? So that's why I really like Richard Scarry. So there we go. Let's have a look. Should we say hello to a few people? Hello, Amelie, Christine Lee's daughter there. Let's see, who else can I say hello to? Noah. Hello, Noah, age 6. Oh, this is going very fast. I can't even keep up with all these questions. Sarah Dickinson here has asked, do your daughters like to draw? Oh, that's from Erin Dickinson. Hi, Erin, age 9 from Oxfordshire. Do my daughters like to draw? They do. My eldest daughter, who is, whisper it, but she's nearly 23. Okay, she has just finished a degree in illustration, actually, down in Brighton, and she is very good at drawing. She draws very differently to me. She doesn't really do children's stuff yet, but who knows? I didn't do children's stuff for a long time, so who knows what will happen. But she is, yes, she's, I think she's going to work in graphic design, actually, which is what I did. So she really likes it. And the other two, Kitty, who is, how old are you, Kitty? You're 14. Are you 14? No, you're 15. Oh my gosh, 15. She's good at drawing too. Kitty and Poppy, my younger two, I think they prefer writing to drawing though, but they're both very good at drawing. They just don't do it very often. Do you know what? They hardly ever do my Draw with Rob videos. I can't believe it. They're probably going to kill me for saying this, but I think the Royal Record Whale was the first one they did. Can you believe that? I know, no support at all. But yes, they are pretty good. Okay, Ruby, age 9. Do you ever give up when you don't like it? When I don't like a drawing? Is that what you mean, Ruby? Well, I think you already know the answer, don't you? I don't. I just keep on drawing. I think unless you spill your paint all over your drawing or something like that, I think you can usually correct your drawing. And I think people, they have this idea that the drawing's got to be perfect. Of course it doesn't have to be perfect. What's lovely about seeing all these Draw with Rob pictures are the differences. We all start out drawing the same character. We all draw the same penguin, but every single one that I get sent looks different, doesn't it? And I love that. It's great. So some of them may be slightly wonkier than mine, but this doesn't mean it's any worse than mine. So I think you just keep on drawing. And it's often those little mistakes and those little kind of idiosyncrasies, those little differences that make the drawing charming. So my advice is don't screw up your piece of paper. Don't rub everything out. Just keep on drawing. If at the end of your drawing you're not happy with it, have another go. But you shouldn't give up. Don't give up. Everyone can draw. Everyone can draw. Don't ever think you're bad at drawing, because you're not. Okay? Right. Can you yes, I can say hi to Brooke, age 4. Hi, Brooke. That's from, Georgia Elsmore. There you go. Hi, Brooke. Nice to see you. Can you draw Ringo and toothpaste? Well, do you know what? I have got a plan of what all of my Draw with Robs are going to be. I can see it right there, in fact. And I know what they're going to be up until February. I am a very organised person. I like to make lists. So I know exactly what I'm doing. And let's just say that Ringo is definitely making an appearance at some point. So keep them peeled. Stay tuned in to Draw with Rob. I know loads of you are back at school now, but keep on watching the videos. Do them when you get home. Do them at the weekend. But don't worry, there will be a Ringo one. Maybe I'll do a toothpaste as well. Toothpaste actually is going to appear in my new book, in that book, Dog Gone. Do you remember I told you about that book? Toothpaste has got a cameo role in that book. Okay, let's have a look. Dawn Nadine. Why did you choose the whale for the record? From Lewis, age 8. Hi, Lewis. Nice to see you. Well, I was trying to think of which animal I should draw for the world record. And I thought, it'd be nice to do a record-breaking animal, wouldn't it? So I thought, I could do a cheetah. Oh, actually, that's an animal that's quite hard to draw. Going back to a previous question, cheetahs, cats in general, big cats in general, quite hard to draw. But I could have done a cheetah. That's the fastest land mammal, isn't it? But then I thought, a whale. That's the biggest animal ever on on the earth. And when I was doing the research for it, I think it said that it's the biggest animal to ever have lived on the earth is the blue whale. Bigger than dinosaurs, any dinosaurs. Which I don't know how they know that, but that's what it said. So I thought, well, in a way, that's a world record, isn't it? So maybe a whale is an appropriate animal to have a go at drawing for the world record attempt. There you go. Good question, Lewis. I think that was, wasn't it? Good question. Hello, Abby, age 8, Louise Bailey's daughter. I presume daughter. Hi, Abby. Nice to see you. Let's have a look. Jake says, can you do an elephant? Well, do you remember I said there's a list of animals up there that I'm going to do? An elephant's on there. When's the elephant? Let's see. Oh, not too long to wait, actually, for an elephant. Maybe keep watching over the next month or so. Let's have a look here. Please say hi to George in Chorley Wood, age 9. Hi, George in Chorley Wood. George, maybe George Addison, I think. Hi, George. Nice to see you. I hope you've been enjoying my draw-alongs. Timothy, aged 8, asks, where do you get, there it is, where do you get your pens from? Do you know what? I think I've said this a couple of times. That is the question I get asked more than any other since I've been doing these draw-alongs. Rob, what pen are you using? Where do you get your pens from? Right, shall I show you my pens? This is the definitive answer to this question. The pens I use, they're all made, pretty much all of them are made by a company called Kuretake. That is spelt Kuretake. Kuretake. They're a Japanese company, and they make really. I really like drawing with. They're called brush pens. So this is one of them here. It's called the Kuretake Mangaka Flexible, and you probably can't tell, but it's a very, very tiny little brush. And what that means is I get to, if I need to draw a really thin line, I just press lightly and it's thin. But if I just press a bit harder, the brush sort of splays out and it goes a bit fatter. So I really like that. That is my favourite pen when I'm signing books, because another thing that we do when we're authors, we go to lots of festivals, book literary festivals, and I do lots of reading. So when lockdown's finished, you all have to come and see me at a festival because it'll be a fun event. I promise lots of draw-alongs and things, live draw-alongs, and then afterwards you get to come and meet me and everyone queues up and I sign all these books, and this pen is the one that I like to sign the books with. It's a really nice one, but I've done lots of the draw with Robs with these as well. And I also like this one. It's called the Sumi, Kuretake Sumi, so it's a bit longer. And can you see, hang on, I'll hold it up against the white background, there we go. You can see it's sort of like a brush at the end, and that's the one that's very much, when I press down the line goes a bit uneven, but it's a lovely pen to draw with, especially on the nice watercolor paper I use. Here we go, you can see it on this way, or here we go, this is a good example. The Wilbur drawing that I did, do you remember that one? You can see I sort of press down and the line gets thicker and thinner, doesn't it, in various points. So that's a nice one to draw with. I've got these ones, these are beautiful, these ones. These are just other variations of the Kuretake pen. And then I use, like, these pens here are funny ones. Whoop, I'm going to hold it against the white bit. These are basically watercolour pens, and all that black bit there is watercolour paint. And it's just ready mixed in there, so you just draw and it comes out through the brush. So instead of having to dip my brush in paint, I just draw straight away with this. But it's much more like painting this, so you can get really, if you press lightly, you get a really watery light grey, and if you press hard, you get a dark grey. So that's a nice pen to use. And then I use watercolour paints to colour with. Here's my just regular watercolour paints. These are quite posh ones, actually, called Schminker. So I just do lots of the colouring with that. And then I use lots of these coloured pencils. I have, hang on, what do I have? I use just regular tin. I've got a regular tin of colour pencils, Prismacolor. But they're nice ones. They are nice ones, actually, because I've used lots of different ones, and the colours are really beautiful with that. And then at my live events, I use these pens. There's two types. There's these ones by Lamy. They're sort of like, they're made for toddlers. They're made for little tiny hands so they can grip them and draw. But I think they're really, really good for drawing on big pieces of paper on stage. So I use these ones by Lamy, and there's also the ones that I really like are by Stabilo. If you Google Stabilo Woodies, you will see them, and you'll probably remember them from your childhood, actually, but they're really good for drawing big pictures with and doing lots of colouring. So there we go. Pens and pencils, done. Right, let's have a look here. Which of your characters, hang on, let's have a look. This is from Bagheera Black Panther. Ooh, hi Bagheera. Are you the actual Bagheera from the Jungle Book? That's pretty cool if you are. Which of your characters are your favourite? And that's actually, Bagheera's other name is Maya Smith from Calfold. Well, Maya, do you know what? The first book, well, one of the very first books I wrote was Kevin. There's Kevin. Let me see if I can find a copy. copy of Kevin. Here we go, here's Kevin. So one of the first books I wrote, this was my 5th book to be published, but it was the first one I wrote. And the reason I wrote it, I think I mentioned it earlier, was that my middle daughter, Kitty, she had an imaginary friend. It wasn't called Kevin, his name weirdly was Cleverin. And he would appear whenever she was in trouble. So, you know, if she had spilt a drink in her bedroom, she would say, it wasn't me, it was Cleverin. I say, who's this Cleverin? And she would describe him to me. She said, oh, he's really big, he's really tall, and he's really furry. He's covered in vanilla fur with pink spots, and he's got, you know, 1 tooth. She described him to me. And I thought to myself, I sort of went, ding, that is a good idea for a children's story. And I just changed the name slightly to Kevin, and I wrote the story. And sure enough, it's about this boy called Sid who blames everything on this imaginary friend. And then the tables are turned, and Sid goes into the imaginary world, and he becomes the imaginary friend. So it's a really nice story. There's something really exciting I want to tell you, but I'm not allowed to. But it's a really nice story, and I really like drawing Kevin, the character. Whenever anyone comes to me with a Kevin book to sign, I get to draw a Kevin in it, and I always really like it. He's a really fun character to draw. So there you go, Maya, I think that's a good question. So there we go. Charlie, this is Lucy Karkik has said, please say hi to Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Nice to see you. Have you been enjoying the Draw with Rob videos? I hope you have. Okay. Right, let's have a look here. Will you do a Draw with Rob for the Paddington post-it note? Do you know all about my post-it notes? Shall I show you? Wait there. This is something cool. I should have got this out to show you earlier. Somebody asked what happens to all the packed lunch post-it notes. Can you see that? Packed lunch post-its. You ready for this? No, I don't want to spill these. This isn't all of them, but this is some of the packed lunch post-it notes. Now, I should probably tell you what these are. Look at that one. Woo, that's a good one, even if I do say so myself. There we go. That was a good one, a Christmas one. What are packed lunch post-it notes? Right, well, this is what happened. My youngest daughter, Poppy, when she started at school in reception, she was really worried about it. She was really nervous about starting at school. And the way that they do it where we live in London is they sort of gradually, they phase in the school day. So what happened was first week or so, she just went in from 9 till 11. And then the second week she had to go in and stay for lunch at school. And she was really nervous about staying for lunch. So a childminder, Leanne, actually said to me, maybe you should draw a little picture and put it in her packed lunch for her to look at. That might give her something to look forward to. So I thought, right, grabbed myself a post-it note, drew a quick little picture in it, put it in her packed lunchbox. She got home that day and she said, oh, I loved that drawing on the post-it note. What are you going to draw for me tomorrow? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a think. And I went away and I drew another picture on a post-it note. Then I drew one for the next day, then the next day, then the next day, then the next day. And now it's her last week at primary school next week in year 6. And I have drawn one every single day that she has ever been at that school. She has had a post-it note with a drawing on from me. So yeah, you can see, can't you? There's quite a few in there. There is quite a few in there. I think we reckon it's well over 2,000. But there are all sorts of things. It's really hard actually to think of what to draw. So I have done a few. It was Paddington today, wasn't it? Oh look, here we go. Just pulled another one out at random. See, I've done Paddington a few times. So it's really hard to think of what to draw. So we've done lots of different themes. I've done every single Pixar and Disney film ever. I've done an A to Z. We've taken requests from people online. I've even done the great artists. So ridiculous as it sounds, I found myself, the night before school drawing the Mona Lisa on a post-it note. But to answer your question, can you show me how to draw Paddington in a video? I'm not allowed to. Lots of people ask me this, but there's copyright reasons. Because I can do all my own characters because they're not owned by anybody else, but things like Paddington or Disney characters, I can't do them. Now you're going to say, but you did Sonic the Hedgehog. You are right, I did do Sonic the Hedgehog, but Paramount Pictures, the people that own the rights to Sonic the Hedgehog, they asked me to do that for them, you see. And so that's why I was allowed to do Sonic. So there you go. But I would love to show you how to draw all these characters, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to. Unless they ask me to, then I will do it. But that's a good question. Let's have a look here. Fiona Vincent Hayden. Do you visit secondary schools? I have done, and I've visited universities too and spoken to the students, the art students at universities. But at the moment, I mainly visit primary schools. In fact, Key Stage 1 really, because the majority of my audience are Key Stage 1. My picture books are really for sort of 2 or 3 year olds to 8-year-old. Well, I think everyone should read picture books personally, but mainly it's Key Stage 1 when I do school visits. But that might change because I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this either, but I have written a book. I have written a book for older children. That's probably all I can say. I wrote it about this time last year, and quite soon we're going to have an announcement about that, but it's very exciting indeed. Let's just say it's very exciting indeed. So when and if that happens, well, when that happens, maybe I will visit a few more secondary schools. Who knows? Good question. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, they're talking about Post-it notes. I'm amazed she didn't lose any or ruin them with spilled lunch. Well, quite a lot of them in the early days, especially now she's a bit older, she takes care of them. They go with her in a lunchbox in a little plastic folder now, so she really looks after them. They come home pretty much pristine. But in the past, yeah, because we've kept them all. In fact, we did an exhibition a few years ago in Waterstones at Tottenham Court Road in London. We framed a few hundred of them up, and we did an exhibition. And so some of them are framed, and one of them that was in the frame was one that had been through the washing machine. So it was just like this mush. You could just about make out a corner of Bugs Bunny's ear or something. And a lot of those early ones have got jam on them, or bits of yogurt, bits of fruit bar or something on them. But most of them now are in pretty good condition. Let's have a look here. Please say hi to Year 6 at Mellis. Hi, Year 6 at Mellis. I love it when teachers send me pictures of the whole class holding their Draw with Rob drawings. It's lovely. I love it when schools use my videos as a little bit of golden time at school. It's a really, really fun thing to do. Simon Kingman has said, what is your favourite Draw with Rob? Let's have a look. I'm having a look at my list. Oh, my favourite one. Oh, I don't know. It's probably the whale, isn't it? The whale was a fun one to do. That was another live one. And it was quite exciting. We had to do a lot of preparation work, a lot of training on YouTube to do a live video. And the thing about the world record is we had to have people had to stay tuned in for 30 minutes. And we knew some people would be arriving late. So I just had to talk for probably about as long as I'm talking now. Keep on talking and keep people engaged so that and then when I started doing the drawing, hopefully enough people, we needed 10,000 and we got 45,000, so we did it quite easily. But yeah, that was a really fun one to do. So maybe it was the whale. Let's have a look here. Let's have a few more shout outs. Here we go. Hello from Daniel9 and Little Holly, and that's Andy Leeming has sent me that. They say that they love my Draw with Rob. Hi Daniel and Holly, thank you. That's really nice to hear. I love it when I never get tired of people telling me how much they love my videos. It's so lovely. It's such a nice thing for me to do, right? Honestly, I like doing the recordings. I mean, I will say, I have got lots of, my publishers will probably say this, I've got lots of book deadlines. I'm very, very busy. I'm doing so many books at the moment. So sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to record some more videos. I've run out of videos. And you're a bit like, oh, how am I going to fit everything in? But actually, when I sit down and do it, I love recording the videos. But what I really love is seeing all of your pictures. It's amazing. Can you imagine? It's such an amazing thing. Me to sit here and think, right, I'm going to draw a turtle, make up my little turtle, put it out there, and then suddenly I get deluged with pictures of you guys holding your turtles. And it's the most heartwarming thing, especially during lockdown, which has been a tricky time, hasn't it, for all of us. I think, certainly for me, it's been like a constant stream of just joy and happiness, seeing all of your smiling faces holding your pictures up. So thank you so much for joining in with me. And I know lots of other people tell me this as well. If they're ever feeling a bit down, they can just do a search on social media for Draw with Rob, and you just see all of these pictures of all these happy faces, and it's a really lovely thing. So thank you very much. It's lovely. Let's have a look here. Meredy James. Do you prefer illustrating your own stories or for other authors? Well, that's a good question. It is really nice actually to illustrate for other authors because there's less pressure on me to come up with these characters and these stories. And the stories are all just there written and they're always fantastic. For example, Philip Arder's stories that I'm illustrating at the moment, Furry Perry Bean Cat. I finished the first book, I'm halfway through the second book, and it's a really fun read. It's just fun for me to read, and then I get to do all the drawings and make up the characters and stuff like that, so it's just fun. It's slightly different because I worry a bit about what the author is going to think of my drawings, whereas when I'm drawing for myself, I know I usually like my own drawings. It'd be weird, wouldn't it, if I did a drawing and then I said to myself, Rob, that drawing's terrible, start again. That would be weird. I don't do that very often. So yeah, there is a little bit of pressure. You want to make them happy, but it's a fun thing to do. You know what? Drawing pictures for my job is fun. I'm very, very lucky to be able to do it, and I never forget that. Particularly as I've had another career before this, working in magazines, which I also loved, but I think now I have even more appreciation of how lucky I am to be doing this for a living. Because even if you're published, not every author gets to do it full time for their job. So I'm very, very lucky. Lots of lucky breaks along the way, I promise you. So yeah, good question. Let's have a look here. We've got time for we got loads of time, haven't we? Can you say a big hello to Olive and Toby? Hi, Olive and Toby. You're still stuck in lockdown in Leicester. It says here that they love Draw with Rob, and they've put a portfolio together. Wow. Well, you should send it. You should send it to me. You know, put it on social media and I'll have a look at it. I love seeing, there's been quite a few people who have sent me pictures of them standing in front of their Draw with Rob wall. And that's lovely. It's lovely to see. And is there anyone out there who's done every single one with me? There's a few of you, I know. I get sent lots of pictures actually. But has anyone done all 36? That would be good. I think maybe it'd be nice to have kept them all in a sketchbook, wouldn't it? That would be a good thing. So when we're in a couple of years' time, when we look back on this weird lockdown period of our lives, it'd be nice to have your Draw with Rob pictures as a little kind of souvenir of that strange time, wouldn't it? Let's have a look here. Hello, Seamus. Nice to see you, Seamus. Hello from, who's this? Edward, age 8, and Alexander, age 6 in Leeds. Edward did a show and tell online to his class about Draw with Rob. That's a good idea. That's great. And then maybe you should have taken show and tell in and you could have read that story as well. That would have been good. But I hope your class liked your drawings. Let's have a look here. Please say hi to Lottie in the Lake District. Hi Lottie, these things are scrolling past so quickly, I have to be really quick to see them. Finley in Dudley loves my videos, and it would make his day if I said hello. Well, Finley in Dudley, hello, I'm so glad that you like my videos, and I hope you've had fun doing all the drawings. Nice to say hello to you. Somebody here, Rachel, who's that? Rachel Alaban says, what breed is Ringo? Good question. Ringo is a Cocker Spaniel. If you want to be more specific, he's a working Cocker Spaniel. That is his breed, which, as far as I can tell, means that he's basically crazy about fetching the ball. He's obsessed with tennis balls. That's all he wants to do. In fact, to the point where we have to hide them in the house, because if he sees them, he just goes kind of crazy. He'll do anything to get that ball. If I was to take a tennis ball and throw it off a cliff, he would jump off. I'm not going to do that. I probably should say that now, but he is crazy for the old tennis balls. So there you go, working Cocker Spaniel. Good picture. Let's have a look here. Archie and Harry, they said we did every single Draw with Rob. Good job, Archie and Harry. Can I say hello to Oscar, aged 8, and to Kelly Eaton. Hi, Kelly and Oscar. Hello, nice to see you. Please, could I give a shout out? Yes, I am giving a shout out now to Puffin class at Heath Mount School. Jasper and his friends. They were lucky enough with their teacher, Mrs. Bell, to do a Draw with Rob every Monday afternoon via Zoom. Oh, that's a good idea. That's nice, isn't it? On Mondays. Mondays is often a hard day of the week, I find. Okay, let's have a look here. Archie and Harry in Cambridge. Say hello to Archie and Harry in Cambridge. Can I say hello to Calum? Hi, Calum. Katie Kilby says, please say hi to Harry before his head explodes. Hi, Harry. I really don't want your head to explode. So I hope that's put a stop to that. Does anyone else have any more questions for me? I had a couple of others, didn't I? Where were my other ones? Oh, yes, here we go. We have one here from Helen Donahoe. And her daughter Lottie 7 says, I loved your World Book Day bookmark character who was in a wheelchair. Have you drawn any other disabled characters? Now that is a very good question. I have actually. Let me see. Where is this book of mine called Show and Tell? Here we go. Show and Tell. Sorry, I've ripped the cover. That's not very good, is it? But can you see? There we go. We have Darcy there, who uses a wheelchair on the cover of a book. I think it's very important that everyone is represented in picture books, in particular in picture books. Often picture books are the first books that people ever read in their lives. And I think it's really important, especially for very young children, to see themselves somewhere in a picture book, isn't it? We all want to feel like we're represented. In fact, you know what? This is an interesting thing. Do you know why there's so many picture books featuring animals as the main characters? It's because I think quite often when you have children in a picture book, children often look a certain way and the children reading them. So say if you have a small girl with pigtails as your main character, if you're not a small girl with pigtails, it's quite hard for you to put yourself in their shoes sometimes. Whereas if your main character is a panda, it's a bit easier to put yourself in a panda's shoes and put yourself into that story. So I think that's why there's lots of animals in picture books quite often, because you can't. It's very hard to kind of appeal to everybody with one character. But of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. But certainly, in terms of disabled characters appearing in picture books, it's something that I'm going to keep on doing because I want everyone to feel represented. So there you go. Very good question there, Lottie. Here we go. Can I get a shout out to Ramona, age 5, who has done all of my drawings, and her brother Elliot. And can I have a happy 20 years of being together for Kate Collins and Ramona and Elliot's daddy. Happy anniversary. I don't know if it's your anniversary, but happy 20 years together. Well done, team. That's a good effort, 20 years. Very impressive. I'm a little bit behind you with that one. Well, am I? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, hello from Mia in Cambridge. Hi Mia, and Zach, age 9, who has said, he's got a good question. What's your favourite colour? I knew someone would ask that. My favourite colour is red. I love red. I'm an Arsenal fan. Whenever I see Arsenal running out onto a football pitch wearing their red shirts, it makes me very happy. It doesn't always make me very happy at the end of the game, but at the beginning of the game I'm always very happy. Can you give us mummies a shout out as much as the boys? Okay, this is from Bryony, whose boys are called Xavier and Logan. Hi to all the mummies out there. Joy Wills asks, how old is Ringo? And so does David Thomas. Well, that's weird. 2 questions in a row, the same. How old is Ringo? He's very young. He's only a year, a bit older, about a year and a quarter, Ringo. So we got him last year. It's a puppy. Lots more favourite colour questions. What kind of dog is Toothpaste? Toothpaste is a border terrier, a little border terrier. And she's a bit older. She's about 6, something like that. 6 years old, something like that. What other draw-alongs will you do? Should I tell you? I don't know if I want to spoil the surprise. I tell you what, we're going to do another one of the Dinosaur Juniors at some point in the next month. I wonder if you can guess which one it's going to be. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I've told you we're going to do Ringo and an elephant, haven't I, at some point in the future. So there you go. The rest I think I'm going to leave as a little surprise for you. Charlie has my new book, the activity book. Oh yeah, do you want to see the activity book? I probably should show you that, shouldn't I? There it is, the activity book. This is so cool, even if I do say so myself. What's amazing is we only started doing it about 3 months ago, which is a very, very quick turnaround for a book. But it's a really nice book. I think if you've liked my draw-along videos, you will definitely like this. It features lots of your favourite draw-alongs that we've done so far. But what I've done, first of all, the paper is a really nice paper. It's like really good paper to draw on. And I've made lots of frames for you to put your drawings of Nancy in and all the other characters that we draw in this. And the edges of the pages are all perforated, so you could easily tear it out and stick it up on the wall. But there's lots of puzzle things in there too. There's colouring pages. These are some of my favourites. I think I showed you this yesterday, but you get to finish off the drawing, so you've got to draw pirate hats on all these characters. There's spot the differences, or what's hiding in the shed. Like you've got to draw what's hiding in that shed in that spooky picture there. So it's a really, really fun book. You should check it out. Look at that colouring page. That'll keep you busy for a little while. So yes, and that is the first book. We are doing a few. Am I allowed to say this? I don't know. We're doing a few of these books. And I am working on the second one as we speak. And if I was to tell you that it's coming out in October, so in time for Christmas, that might give you a little clue as to the theme of the next Draw with Rob book. Like this book, you can get it from Booker Bookshops. You can get it from Bookish. You can get it from Forum Books and Lingham's Booksellers, the people that are putting this video together. In fact, do you know what? They all have signed copies. So if you live near to one of those shops, you can pick up a signed copy. But be quick, before they run out, you should get them. I think you can probably ring them up to reserve them, I don't know. But if you don't live near those shops, you can get it in any... If you have a local bookshop, get it in your local bookshop. We need to support our local independent bookshops, don't we? But yes, you can get it pretty much anywhere. You can get books. So I really hope you like that. How are we doing? Oh, we're nearly out of time. Shall I answer a few more questions? I don't know what the rules are. I'm happy to keep going for a little bit longer. Let's see. Oh, Ringo. Ringo. Come on then. Ringo. He's made an appearance. Ringo. Say hello to everyone. Ringo, look. Look, who's that? You gonna say hello? Look, can you see all the children out there? And all the mums and dads? You gonna say hello? I think that's all you're going to get from Ringo. Oh well, never mind. That's nice of him to put in an appearance. I'll move over here so you can see him. Let's see. Please say hi to Elliot. Hi Elliot. That's Joanne Blake has sent me that message. Hi Elliot, nice to see you. Simon Kingman says Dylan says hi to his hero. I don't know who his hero is. Maybe it's Ringo. I don't know. And a couple more hellos. Here we go. Say hi to Angus and Erin. That's from Becky Durrans. Hi Angus and Erin. Nice to see you. Here we go. Here's another question from Nicola Patoka. Hi Rob. What is your all-time favourite illustration? That's a very good question. There's I don't know if I've got one. There's some that I remember. There's one remember I mentioned that guy Richard Scarry earlier on. There's one he did of a ship. I remember it was a great big cruise ship and he did like a cross section of the cruise ship and you could see inside all the cabins and you could see how the engine worked. I really remember that from when I was young. I remember the scene. Do you know that book? Of course you know that book, The Tiger Who Came to Tea, by Judith Kerr. I really like the scene, the sort of the nighttime street scene there where they're going to the cafe for their tea. I always remember seeing that when I was little and thinking, oh, what an exciting thing to do, to go to an actual cafe for your tea. Amazing. And that's a lovely, if you go and have a look at that illustration. It's a lovely, lovely picture. The colours are just amazing. Why, who said this here? Why did you change Ringo's name into toothpaste in yesterday's episode? I didn't. We were looking after toothpaste. Toothpaste was here. My brother and his family, they went away for the weekend. I think they went camping. And so they said, could we look after toothpaste? So we did. So it was toothpaste that was in here, clawing to get in. I wasn't making it up. That was Toothy. Toothy. I call her Toothy for short. It's quite embarrassing standing in the park shouting toothpaste. So it's quite embarrassing shouting Toothy, to be honest, but it's a little bit better than toothpaste. Please say hello to Sam in Cumbria. Hi, Sam in Cumbria. What is the music you use for Draw with Rob? I need it as a ringtone. If you go to a website called bensound, I think, bensound.com, you can find it there. I licensed it from there. It's something to do with jazz. I think it's called Jazz something or other. You can find it there, I'm sure, though. There we go. Heather Maloney says, Finn says hi. He utterly loves your drawings. Thank you, Finn. That's so nice to hear. I'm very, very happy with that. What is the book by Show and Tell behind you? Which one? We've got. Okay, I'll go through them all. We've got Blown Away, Draw with Rob, Kevin, Odd Dog Out, Show and Tell, and then that one there's the first Dinosaur Juniors book, Happy Hatch Day. And that little trophy in front is the Waterstones Children's Book Prize, which I won. Just saying, just putting that there, just putting that out there. Kate Collins, are there any plans for TV adaptations of your books? No comment. I'm not allowed to say anything. Next question. Right, let's have a see. We're going to have 2 more questions, I think, because I was only meant to do an hour. We've already done just over an hour. So here we go. This is from Devon King. Well, it's actually from Connor King, saying, Hi Rob, I am Connor and I am 7 years old and I want to know if you will draw a badger. I don't think I've got badger on my list. I should add badger to them. There is a badger in one of my books actually, in Grr. Have I got a copy of Grr? Here we go. Grr, this book here, Grr. The one about the bear who loses his growl. I think I did draw a badger in here somewhere. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, there we go. The little badger. Can you see him? Whoop. That way. Can't do it. There we go. Badger, little Sherlock Holmes badger. But yeah, maybe I should do a badger drawing on. That's a good idea. Oh, here we go. My kind of question. Michael Davis. My dad's favourite player is Dennis Bergkamp. Mine was Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez plays for Arsenal. Who was yours, Charlie? Mine's Dennis Bergkamp too. I love Dennis Bergkamp so much. Oh, I've got lots of Arsenal shirts with Bergkamp on the back. Good question. And good taste. Your dad's got good taste in footballers, and you've got good taste in football teams. Let's have a look. A couple more. Please, can I say hello to Retha? Retha? There we go. Hi, Retha. Nice to see you. What else do we have here? Please, can you say hi to Tilly and Tallulah? They've done all of your drawings and both have the activity book. Hi, Tilly. Hi, Tallulah. I've got a feeling I might have seen some of your drawings online, actually. Those names ring a bell. Okay. Do we have one more final question? There's another one about Arsenal. I better not do too many about Arsenal. Let's have a look. Here we go. The final question, and this is a very appropriate question. It's from Claire Blackledge, and it says, have you still got the pencil that you won when you were in reception for that drawing? Unfortunately, I haven't. I wish I did have. That pencil would be in a frame on the wall if I did have that, because that was the start of everything for me. Sometimes you just need somebody to show a bit of interest in your artwork, give you a bit of encouragement. I think that's all you need. And you know what, that's what I try to do with my videos, just give you a bit of encouragement to carry on drawing. It does break my heart when I go to a school and I say, hands up who doesn't think they're very good at drawing, because so many hands go up. So I always choose one child whose hand's gone up, and I make sure I go back to them at the end of our draw along session and have a look at their drawing, and it's always really, really good. So everybody can draw. I really honestly mean that. Everybody can draw. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help with the order. So that's why I do that. I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw. You all love that, don't you? Love it when I say that. But a little bit of help just with the order with which you do your drawing in. That's all you need, isn't it? So listen, I'm out of time now. I can't talk for any longer. You must be so bored of the sound of my voice. Thank you all so much for joining me in this live event. It's been really fun. It's quite strange just talking to my computer, but it's nice to see the river of comments next to me here. It's been really good fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Booker Bookshops, in particular Carrie at Booker Bookshops, Emma at Bookish, Helen at Forum Books, Sue at Lingham's Booksellers. Thank you so much for hosting this lovely event. You should look at the rest of this page, the At Home with 4 Indies page, because there's been loads and loads of amazing authors who've done the same thing. So go back and have a look at the ones in the past. I think they've got some more amazing ones coming up. I'm really proud to have been asked to do this. I've really enjoyed myself. Remember, all of those bookshops, they have signed copies of my Draw, I think it's my Draw with Rob book. So check those out. You should be able to find all of my books wherever you can buy books if you want to check out more of my stories. It'd be nice to meet you all in the flesh one day. So hopefully, as I said, once this is all over with and things are getting back to normal, I'm going to start appearing at festivals again, and hopefully there'll be a festival near you. So come and see me, come and have a chat with me afterwards. I feel like I know so many of you already because you're all so good at social media about chatting to me on social media, but it'd be nice to see you in the flesh one day. So listen, thanks for joining me. Thanks to the Indies for having me. It's been a real pleasure to do this. I want you all to take care of yourselves. Don't forget my videos every Tuesday, every Thursday at 10 a.m. I put them up on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think you might even get a notification when a new one goes up. But they're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, everything you can think of. My website, they're all up on my website. Every Tuesday and Thursday, all through the summer holidays. And then I think in September we'll probably just go down to Tuesdays when you're back at school, so we just have one a week. But yes, all through some holidays we'll be doing them. So don't forget, keep joining me. And thank you so much for all the nice things you say to me and all the emails you send. I try and reply to everyone. It's very, very hard. There's thousands of you that get in touch. Thank you so much for sending me your pictures for the grid. I'm so sorry to those people that don't make the grid. It's really, really hard to do. My eldest daughter and me just choose them at random. She helps me put the grids together. But there's always some people that we just can't fit in. But it's a random choice. So I'm really sorry about that. But you know what? Next time, keep trying. Next time you'll get in. Anyway, stop talking, Rob. It's been lovely to talk to you all today. Take care of yourselves. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Ringo. Ringo, say goodbye to everyone. No, can't be bothered. Sorry. But I'm going to see you all soon. Take care. Bye.